Welcome back everyone to another episode of the Formula 1 2019 mid-season driver reviews. Today's episode, we're talking about a man who sits currently in P19 in the standings, the same amount of points as Alfa Romeo's Antonio Giovinazzi, and yet I personally think he's had one of the worst seasons of any driver on the grid. There's a hot take for you to start off this video. It's been an incredible comeback for Robert Kubica. This is a man who hasn't raced in Formula 1 since 2010. Since 2010, missing out on 8 seasons of racing in Formula 1. He's now back, but it hasn't quite been the dream return for Robert. Just a heads up, if you are new around here, feel free to subscribe. Summer break is almost over now, just over a week to go. A week today is qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix, but we've got a few more of these to do, so if you want to keep up to date with Formula 1, feel free to subscribe. Anyway, back to the video. Robert Kubica. We expected him to come back and to maybe not jump in that car and perform straight away. We're now halfway through a year, and it looks like Williams are going to give him the full season to race, which I think is absolutely fantastic. This is a guy, as I just mentioned, who hasn't raced in Formula 1 for so long, and yet his comeback has been highlighted so much in the media, and also the comeback itself is borderline a miracle. A rallying incident at the beginning of 2011 looked like he would never be able to drive again. Now he's back in Formula 1, there's no arguing. That is incredible. And this is a man who, in his first stint in Formula 1, was my favourite driver. And I know he's got a very, very popular fan base, which is brilliant to see, and we always love to see in Formula 1. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, currently sits on Williams' only point so far this year, which was in Germany, and actually for Robert, I think went under the radar in that race. Many drivers with vast experience. Sergio Perez, a big example of a driver who you expect to be consistent. Hulkenberg, a similar kind of story. Hamilton, Bottas, all of them making mistakes in Germany. But Robert Kubica didn't. And in a Williams car, that's exactly what you need. A calm, measured drive. And they got points on that day. And you know what? My ranking for Robert, it does tickle up just a little bit because of that race. And as I mentioned as well, he's currently on the same points as Antonio Giovinazzi. That being said, Giovinazzi was disqualified from Germany and they've got a whole host of points there. But still, to be 12 races in and to be on the same points of an Alfa Romeo is very respectable. The only thing is, and I've been saying this all season long, I personally think looking at just the points is wrong. Okay, if you're a casual fan and you don't watch Formula 1, it's a brilliant way to keep up with who's doing well in the championship, who's not doing so great. That being said, George Russell, I think, has been comfortably the best driver at Williams this year. There are plenty of rumours saying that Russell has had the best car. Plenty of people disagree with that. I'm also in that camp. I do not think Williams have two different cars this year. Russell's is better, Kubica is worse. And also, we have seen so far this year that on occasion, Kubica has had upgrades first, but Russell also has, so swings and roundabouts there. The big one for me, 12-0 in qualifying, and some drivers, qualifying's just not their strong suit, but in the race as well, it's Russell who's really been trying his best to push through the field, and whilst Kubica and Russell have had some awesome, absolutely awesome on-track battles this year, which I'm so frustrated that we only see after the Grand Prix. Race producers, message to you, please show us the Williams cars a little bit more. I think Robert, 12-0 in quali to George Russell, 10-2 to George Russell as well. It's just little things like that that have really added up for Kubica this year. More often than not, it's the last car to finish. More often than not, he's a comfortable gap behind George Russell come the checkered flag. And it's those kind of statistics which have really hurt his season so far and really hurt his credibility. And that's what I'm just trying to be careful of, is I'd hate to see the man who was at one time one of the best in Formula 1 now be regarded as one of the worst. And that's what I'm really trying to play this balancing act with so far this year. So, Robert, it's not been the dream return to Formula 1. It's not been diabolical. He's still been there. He's been able to race with his teammate, but I think even he would admit it's not been as smooth sailing as he would like. 4 out of 10 for Robert Kubica, and even that is a little bit lenient? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Another one of these out a little bit later on today. Hopefully I'm not as groggy. It's quite early in the morning at the moment. But thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.